Here's our 4-row test bench. For every 4 rows is a control board like out on the planner. There's a left and right hand side of this control harness. Control harness ultimately will come over, down, around here, connect to rows 1, 2, 3, and 4. So again, for every 4 rows is one control board. If this is a 16-row test bench, there'll be four control boards. Here's our Gram Command software. This is actually a Gram Command Lite. Everything is done manually. There's a ground speed radar signal that comes into it, as well as lift switch, and the rest of it is configured and handled manually. We enter in all of our planner configuration information. EPD count is how many control boards there are. If we want to do a metric instead of imperial, you can click this screen right, or click that button right there. Here's where you can enter in some default information. On our plant screen, which you'll see next, you'll notice 3 buttons where you can jump from 3 different populations. We can change these right here with this screen. Our jump speed, jump population, and jump time allows us to kind of overcome the normal gaps you have whenever you stop in the middle of the field and then need to take off again. Usually there's a delay in ground speed or GPS acquiring a speed. Sim speed allows us to keep planning in case our radar or GPS signal becomes something that's not working. So what I need to do first, I need to connect to our Bluetooth. Our interface board connects to our Android tablet wirelessly. Through the interface board, it's going to be power, ground, radar, but since we're not using a radar, we're going to use a radar simulator here. Simulate speed. Then we also have our lift switch right here. So whenever we're out planning, I would have a radar hooked up so we know how fast we're moving. Our lift switch is going to tell us whether we need to be planning or not based on the position of the switch. So we come over here, we're going to start planning. I can change populations real quickly right here. Right now I'm at 10,000. I'll move up to 40,000. I can easily turn rows on and off right here individually by clicking these red or green buttons. If I want to turn off 4 rows by itself, I can hit the master. Now they're back on. You'll notice these 2 over here. Our radar simulator is simulating 4.9 miles per hour. So basically our motors, to plan at 40,000 population with our spacing set up like I had on our configuration page, motors are turning 41.2 RPM. You can see this toggle switch right here represents our lift switch. I just moved our lift switch right here. So the planner is up, motors stop running. I release the switch, the toggle switch moves down, our motors start running again. For every row, you'll see our feedback numbers. We're trying to plant 40,000 population, and here's our true population numbers. Now these numbers are not based off of seed count. These are based off of motor RPM. So you'll notice they kind of jump around a bit. That's because we're measuring RPM 500 times per second. We do not average this like seed data. Second thing is you'll notice is our master right here, even though it says 40,000 here, is changing from 40, 36, 32, 28. That's because you can individually adjust each row's percentage of the master population. We do this whenever we're testing our harnesses, and that tells us if we have any wires crossed in our feedback numbers. But it's also very helpful whenever, for example, seed corn growers out here are planting male and female seed at the same time. Instead of changing sprockets or seed plates, the operator can come in here and slow down a row 5% just by a touch of a button. What I will do right now is keep an eye on this. I will watch this row 1. We're planting 40,000. Now I'm going to change it to 20,000. You'll notice the text below my thumb is going to turn green. Now watch the population number here on how fast our motors change population. Right there, it's changed population. Now let's go back to 40,000. Keep an eye on row 1. It's made its change. Now if we had a 16-row planter, all 16 rows would be displayed right here. But since this is just 4 rows, only 4 rows is displayed. Now one thing I'm going to do is we're planning 4.9 miles per hour. With the radar simulator, I'll slow the planner down. So we are at 3.1 miles per hour. Now I'll slowly speed up like a tractor does. You'll notice they're taking off again. We're up to 6 miles per hour. I'll slow down to 3. We'll go to 4. And we're right there again. So that's pretty much how our system operates. On every motor are 2 connections. There's a 2-pin and a 3-pin connector. The 2-pin is power and ground, supplying voltage to the motors for speed. 3-pin provides our control boards a feedback number. This tells us how fast the motors are going versus how fast we want them to go. And again, 500 times a second, we adjust the voltage going to each motor to make sure that they operate correctly.